Welcome to aminacademy.com. In differentiation regarding radius of curvature of polar curves, let us do some proof. Let r equal to f of theta be a polar form of a curve with the point P on it. Then prove that the radius of curvature at P is given by rho equal to r squared plus r1 squared power 3 by 2 over r squared plus 2r1 minus r2, where r is the f of theta, r1 is first derivative and r2 equal to second derivative. Now look here, r1 equal f of theta, r equal to f of theta, r1 equal to f dash of theta, and r2 equal to f2 dash of theta. Now we'll prove it. Look here, the figure. Here the point P of r theta is on the curve r equal to f of theta. Here this angle theta, here angle phi, this angle is psi. We know that angle psi equal angle theta plus angle phi, and hence we can write that differentiating with respect to ds both sides, d psi by ds equal d theta by ds plus d phi over ds. Now further we can write d theta by ds plus d phi by ds can be written as d phi by d theta into d theta by ds. That means we are written d theta by d psi by ds as d psi by d theta into d theta by ds. Now further take out common factor is d theta by ds is equal 1 plus d theta d psi by d theta, d phi by d theta. That means you take the common factor d theta by ds. Now we know that tan phi equal r by r1. Now differentiating with respect to with respect to theta both sides, we have secant square phi into d phi by d theta equal, here quotient rule, r by r1 differentiation is r1 squared minus r2 over r1 squared. Further here we have d psi by d theta can be written as r1 squared minus r2 over r1 squared into, here the secant square come here 1 over secant square, and the secant square can be written as 1 plus tan square phi, 1 over 1 plus tan square phi. Now further simplification, we look at here, it is equal r1 squared minus r2 over r1 squared into 1 over 1 plus tan squared phi is r squared minus over r1 squared. By simplification, there is the calcium here, and reciprocal multiplication, which gives r1 squared minus r2 over r1 squared into r1 squared over r1 squared over r1 squared plus r squared. Now by simplification we'll get here that is that here r1 squared go up and r1 squared minus r squared. By simplification we'll get d psi by d theta equal r1 squared minus r2 over r1 squared plus r squared. We know that look at here, we know that ds by d theta equal square root of r squared plus r1 squared. So we have to, now we'll get now d psi over ds, d psi over ds is d psi over ds equal to 1 over square root of r squared plus r1 squared into 1 plus r1 squared minus r2 over r1 squared plus r squared. That means you are getting from this. Now, which is simplified form is, therefore rho equal ds by d psi. The reciprocal gives, by simplification we'll get the reciprocal is r square plus r1 square over 3 by 2 over r square plus 2r1 square minus r2. This is a radius of curvature of polar curve. That means here we are simplifying this like a calcium, and we are having here r square plus r1 square square root, here r square plus r1 square with power 1, so it is power 3 by 2. Then we have the reciprocal ds by d psi is radius of curvature. We are having this problem. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.